Welcome to the Two Doors podcast, where we open the doors to Australia's top minds in tech, talent, and transformation. Hosted by Alexander Gil, founder of Two Doors Recruitment, we cut through the noise with real conversations from leaders building the future of work. Subscribe to the show to hear and see more of these types of conversations. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Doors podcast. I am here with Abbas. Abbas Kudrati is a regional chief identity and security advisor at Silverfort and a former chief cybersecurity advisor at Microsoft Asia. With deep expertise in identity security, zero trust architecture, cloud, and cybersecurity, he provides strategic and technical guidance to a number of startups, including SquareX, Aona.ai, and Prizeezy, as well as leading institutions such as EC Council and Vinnie's Victoria, whilst actively mentoring the cybersecurity community. A best-selling author and renowned keynote speaker, Abbas has authored industry-leading books such as Threat Hunting in the Cloud and Zero Trust Journey Across the Digital Landscape. He also serves as a professor of practice at La Trobe University and is a fellow of the Australian Information Security Association, AISA. Abbas, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, how do you feel when you hear that read back to you? Because it's very impressive.
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot of hard work, I would say, but no, it's encouraging and rewarding as well at the same time. Being there, it's hard to keep up as well. Once you reach at a certain level, you need to maintain that. It's very difficult. It's like losing your weight. Once you losing weight is fine, but maintaining that weight is very difficult.
True. And it's just that hard work, the first to learn and first to grow. And what's been going on lately?
No, all good. Keeping myself a bit busy these days from the health point of view as well, trying to lose some weight. So that's the main thing, my goal, trying to keep it healthy and keeping my 10,000 steps in a day. That's some first priority, I would say, other than everything else I'm doing. A bit of a travel around Australia as well as in Asia. A lot of travel coming up in the next couple of months. And most importantly, a couple of big conferences. It's keeping me busy, like Cybercon in Melbourne and GoWare in Singapore. So I've been accepted as a speaker there. So preparing the presentations and deadlines are approaching. So a lot of research, a lot of reading, and creating those something unique content for my audience who's going to attend my session.
I love that. You really care about people, and I can pick that up from, being at La Trobe University, a professor of practice, and also your books as well, because you never know who you will impact, right? I'm an author as well, and people message you randomly and saying, "Hey, I learned this or learned that," and you're just like, "Wow, you've really had to focus though." And I'd say you're probably good at time management.
Yes, something has instilled in me for last 20 years, staying alone and living alone away from the family as a young boy. So I had to maintain my time routine, and thanks to my hostel days where I had to wake up on certain time and sleep at a certain time. If you don't, then there will be a stick behind your back. So that has made me very disciplined, similar to our army life you have.
True. And that's probably how you're able to actually do multiple things. Because the average person, they'll be like, how do you do this? Like, I'm intrigued as well.
Early to bed, early to rise, that's what they say.
Yes. And so I'm curious, because you're always researching and you're learning and you're growing, and I mean, it's an evolving landscape as well. What are the next big things to watch out for?
There are quite a few next big things. I mean, the attackers are getting smarter day by day. They are leveraging all the cool technologies, especially the artificial intelligence. There are terms which have been thrown away, like we already know phishing, the voice phishing, and phishing, which is the email phishing. And now we are seeing the video-based deepfake called dishing as well. So a lot of new terminologies are being thrown against many people. So that's what is something which we all need to be aware about, that how attackers are leveraging that. And at the same time, we as a defender also needs to be focused on how we can leverage this latest and cool technology to become more smarter and be faster and better to combat against those new kind of threats which we are seeing every day.
Yeah, I've not had dishing before. I like that.
Deepfake.
Yeah, because I've even seen, I think it's in Norway, they've made it illegal to copy someone's sovereignty, their fakeness or anything.
Absolutely. But not everywhere, but still, you can't control these. As simple as that. And I was giving example to somebody else during my mentoring session, how attackers are now capturing your voice or a video sample, even if it is for 30 seconds or a 60 second. They can immediately clone your voice or a video and send it to your parents or a grandparents and ask them for the money or extort them. It's that simple these days. And all those latest tools like Google Banana, you must have seen it. How easy to replace somebody's face with yours.
Yeah.
You can see heaps of posts on LinkedIn, and everyone were saying they were sitting against the Satya Nadella or Jeff Bezos or all those kind of celebrity, but they're all fake. And of course, they mention that it is fake, but it looks so real. That's what it's frightening as well.
Yes. That's why I love conversations like this, because there needs to be more knowledge sharing, because I think I've got a level of discernment, but I can still get caught with random emails with things and I'm like, shouldn't have responded to that. And it's the awareness piece, isn't it? From these deep fakes and these AIs, I've seen them where people are like caught up with Elon Musk. And then the only way that you know is because the airplane seats are actually facing the wrong way.
Yes, absolutely. And now it can be changed as well with the technology. There are softwares which can make it that real as well, just by replacing that.
Yeah. So diving into that point a bit more of like being dumb, it's like there's no other way. Like we've all paid dumb tax. I've paid for a JB Hi-Fi deal once, thinking I was going to win an iPhone, and it just hacked my account. I've been dumb. I've paid that dumb tax. But what are dumb ways to not get hacked? Like, yeah, can you share with us?
Oh, the biggest one I get these days is getting an SMS. Either you have a fine to pay or you have an outstanding electricity bill, and click on it. And since you are so busy and you change your service provider so often, you don't remember that, am I with the X service provider or am I with this? And you, in a rush, you click on that button and enter your details and the money is gone. As simple as that. Second one is you're getting a random call. Do you want this electricity thing or a solar panel or a battery panel? And then they're asking you a series of questions and you give away. But that's not it is. And sometimes they call it from a bank, say, I'm calling you from bank and we see a transaction. I get it very, very, very often that you have a PayPal transaction. Click on this to confirm and receive the payment. I never done any transaction on PayPal. But people, because of their work pressure or being anxious and being busy, we click on that link or get into that conversation mode with them. But that's something which I keep telling, that always have a verification. I follow the zero trust principle, being an advocate of a zero trust, or never trust, always verify. If somebody is calling you from bank, hang up the call. Okay, I'll call you back. I'm busy right now. You don't need to do anything. Just call your bank. You know the number of your bank. And then ask, hey, I get a call from this. What is it? Nobody called you. No, it's as simple as that. It starts from there, because human are the, as we say, weakest link. But we need to work on creating human as your strongest firewall. That's the next step we need to focus on.
Yes. And do you go into this in your book as well, of the threat hunting in the cloud and zero trust journey?
Absolutely. I share a lot of stories and real life stories, personal or from my experience helping the customers, how they got breached, bigger ones or a smaller one, including all of them.
Yeah, because it's an evolving landscape, isn't it, as well? And like, you're so right about the telephone call. And even sometimes I had someone call me and they're like, can you verify your date of birth and all this? And I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Why do you need my date of birth?
Yeah. And where can we find your book? And yeah, what would you say is the, can you give us a slight synopsis?
No, absolutely. So a lot of books I have, and they all are available on Amazon Australia websites. You can just Google my name or look up my name on the website, and you can find all the materials I have. Or go to my LinkedIn page. I have a link of all the publications, including all the podcast and video recording and everything I have done. It's all on my LinkedIn. So you can just click and listen to those stories and share with your family members or with your colleagues as you like. So I write and speak and present on many areas. Everything is available on my LinkedIn portal.
Brilliant. So I have to hit you up there. And in terms of verification, is there like a website or a central brain system where you can type in telephone numbers or emails or text message or anything that can verify it? Or is it just we've got to use that discernment?
Yes and no. It's very difficult. So there are some app on your phone, such as Truecaller. I used to use it a lot when I had an Android phone. I don't use much on my Apple phone. But on Android, I used to use a lot, where it could tell me it's a spam call, because it is, again, community driven. you get a spam call, you mark it as a spam and it records it. And if somebody else is getting the same number, if you are getting the same call from the same number, it will highlight you as a spam because I have highlighted it as a spam call.
Yeah.
So it's like a community driven. So that's one way. But there are telecom companies, large telecom companies, they also have a good filtering process where they can block it. And you do your own due diligence. If you think it's a spam call, just click the button and record it as a spam. It blocks in your phone as well. This is especially for the SMSs and the phone calls.
Okay.
But on the email side, it's very, very hard. Of course, the email engines are getting much more smarter and better these days. And even legitimate emails are marked as a spam. So make sure you follow and regularly, at least once in a week, go to your spam folder and look at it. Have you missed any important email?
Yeah.
And if you know that, mark it as a not junk email. So next time you receive an email, otherwise just ignore and keep looking at it. So that's one way to do it. Another website which I strongly follow and look at it regularly is Have I Been Pawned? I'm sure you must have heard by this Aussie researcher called I'm not getting the name, Tony or something, lives in Gold Coast, but he has a website called Have I Been Pawned? And if you go there and type your email address, personal or professional email ID, it will tell you at how many websites your personal information, including email, have been leaked.
Wow.
And then which shows you that your password is not very strong, or it prompts you to change your password and apply a second factor authentication on that. So even in case your password is known or been breached, you have a second factor authentication which protects you.
Yeah.
Not a rocket science and not a sure shot way that, okay, if I have a MFA, I'm protected. There are many other things you need to do it, but at least it's a good start to have a multi-factor authentication on your every social media account and every personal email address what you have. Companies, of course, doing their job and having UMFA on that side as well.
You're so right. It's I also think it could be helping you with any addictive qualities of social media, because if you have to two-step authenticate every time, it's a lot more effort to get in there, right?
Yeah.
And we had David Lucci on the show, and he head of cyber at Flybys, and he was saying that he predicts, he was talking about that the next, he thinks the emergency services will be for cybersecurity. Where you've been hacked and ring them up and, hey, this has happened. So we don't just have police, ambulance, and fire, but we've got cyber.
We have a bit of that. You can call Australia Signal Directorate. We have something called local cert or Australian cert and cert Australia. We have both, one for the public and one for the consumer or the small customers. You can take their help if you like. But yes, as you said, correctly, yes, there will be a lot of effort, and they are putting a lot of effort in education. So if you go to Australia Signal Directorate website, they have heaps of learning. As a matter of fact, I hope by the time we finish the podcast and release, it will be in the month of October. And October as a month around the world is celebrated as a security awareness month. So you will see a heaps of activity, including myself. I'm going to post a lot of short videos and shorts on social media to educate everyone what to watch out for. So make sure you release some of these things during the month of October, at least some shorts.
Yes, we will. And I mean, on your point as well, like I read this morning that people in North Korea, hackers, they're actually taking ghosting to another level where they're acting like a recruiter on it's called contagious interview scam, where they're like dubbing people on a crypto platform, and they've stole $1.34 billion in crypto last year. Like, it's crazy, isn't it, what's out there?
Recruitment, you don't get me started on recruitment scams. I can tell you so many stories because I have a young son who is 21-year-old, and he's in the market for the job. And he created his a LinkedIn profile new, and he's updating regularly and put a badge that he's open for work. The kind of recruiters who are adding him in the LinkedIn and sending a message, most of them shows that they are from US, sending a message, hey, we saw your profile, are you looking for a job? And as soon as he responds, yes, I'm looking for a job, but how can you help me? I'm in Australia and you are in US. Oh yeah, send me your CV and we can have a look at it. And he has a different version of CV with less information. So he sends a CV, and this is a real example, and not happened once, but 3 times. Wow. So once he sends the CV to this recruiter company showing from US, oh, your CV is good, but it's not up to date with the standard. You need to have it ATS compliant and this compliant. Do you mind if I connect you with somebody who can help you reformat your CV in that? They will charge you a small fee. And once my son says, yeah, go ahead, connect me, and they would send a link of a Fiverr or somebody, And once you click on the link of a firewall, the person is from Nigeria. And they will ask you for money and they will do extortion. Immediately, then he blocks that person. He said, get away. I'm not paying anything, especially somebody from countries like which are not unknown. How can you in US helping me in Australia and sending my CV and asking me to pay somebody in Nigeria? It's a dodgy.
Yeah.
Immediately. And he gets it every month or every week. He will get some reply from these kind of companies calling themselves a recruiter and going to help him with the job.
And it's sad on both ends, right? Because he's excited because he wants a job.
Absolutely.
And then me as a recruiter, it's like, well, what's our standard looking like? But I'm just glad he's got a father like you that you've taught him, hey, check this all out, like go into because I even get text messages as well where they're like, hey, do you want this job for this amount of hours? And I'm like, okay, that doesn't really connect with me at this level, but I'm like, that's definitely a scam. So I just report them every time.
Yep. Report and block. Easy.
Yeah. And do you know Sammy Chucks? He's originally from Nigeria or Ghana, I believe. Nigeria, I'm pretty sure. But he says that he's understood that whole world and that's his mission, is to like push them all out from doing anything like that.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good.
Yeah.
Worth meeting.
and let's go a bit deeper into what's new. So last time we caught up, you were teaching me about superintelligence, AGI. So tell us more about this.
Oh, yes. I have a favorite talk track about the threat and opportunity of generative AI, because, of course, it's a fascinating being a cybersecurity professionals, and everyone in my families are using some sort of AI tool for their day-to-day work, including my wife, my son, and my daughter, and everyone, including myself. So, in my presentation, I've been doing research. What are the threats and opportunity? And threats we just covered at a high level that yes, attackers are leveraging. Lot of nation-state actors as well from China, North Korea, Iran are also leveraging this kind of a Gen AI for various purpose for threat hunting from the real espionage point of view. But the future is also looking a bit scary as well as exciting as well. We are right now in something called this generative AI phase where text to video, text to audio, text to images, and we are seeing examples of this ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Banana, and all those things are coming more and more advanced. They're getting more and more better. You see the image so real these days. But what we are moving into the next phase is called AGI, which is artificial generative intelligence. Now today we have a GPT version 5, which is if you type some prompt in your chat GPT and you're using GPT model 5, it shows you thinking. If try it next time, it will show thinking. So imagine it is thinking like a human. So AGI is going to be the next phase. It can think and it can react, but also it can autocorrect themselves. So it is a self-learning model within them. And we are already seeing a bit of experimental and early versions of that in many areas. Of course, it's not in the mainstream, but that's what the world is moving towards. After that, maybe during our lifetime, maybe we are around that, maybe 15, 20 years, or maybe another 70 years, we are moving towards something called super generative intelligence, super artificial generative intelligence, or SGI, which is like combining human with AI, joining the force together. Example, in a sci-fi movie, you must have seen a movie called Atlas, where you have a chipset in your brain, and it's a AI chipset and interacting with your brain and making you a kind of a superhuman. So you are learning fast, you are adapting fast. One of the early versions is a Matrix. With the one pin, you learn the kung fu fighting skills within a few minutes.
I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, who doesn't want to like that? So that's going to be a super generative intelligence. That's where the things are moving. So the question is, how are we make ourselves more relevant? And I read one of the joke on social media when somebody posted that we got the AI all wrong. As I want AI to do my cleaning, the cooking for me, which is also moving towards that, and all the dirty jobs, so I can be free and write poetry and do painting. But right now we are on the other way side. We are making AI to write the poetries, the poems, and all the images and painting, and we are still doing the dirty work of doing the lawn mowing and cleaning everything. So I think we got it wrong somewhere. Hopefully, we'll flip the switch in the future.
Yeah, it's like that adage where it's oh, I need this to save more time. But then it's like, but what are you using that time for? Like, I know that you're utilizing the time being a person that's like part of the university, authoring, speaking, all of the jobs you do, investing.
Or riding motorbikes.
Yes, yeah, riding motorbike. And but it's funny, isn't it? I love your comment there about we should be doing the more human aspects of painting and poetry. But it's a very interesting time we live in, like with Neuralink, there's all of these like it is becoming a reality.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. I mean, yeah, we need to be more hands-on. And another example, just today morning, my wife me and my wife having a breakfast and talking about, because she was writing a huge paragraph about what she's doing. And my son said, oh, why don't you ask GPT to do it? I said, no, I won't do it. First, I will write and put my thoughts together. And then I will use ChatGPT to make it more professional or change the language. And because we all come from a non-native English speaking, I said, okay, I will use the ChatGPT to enhance, and I can learn from what it has done for me. So that's what we need to do. And I keep telling that you first do your own work and then get it enhanced and improve by using AI, rather than asking AI, giving a prompt and go and summarize everything. Have you read it? You haven't read it and you want AI to summarize it again.
Because you're teaching them thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I think what's happening with the younger generation is they can outsource their thinking and they won't be able to get there. Whereas for you, it's like you've already got loads of those experiences. But even now you're like, I'm not going to be lazy with my thinking. I'm going to utilize it and then leverage it after that to help me.
Yeah, absolutely. And another personal example, when I wrote my first book of threat hunting, there was no ChatGPT at that time. It took us almost 1 year to write the book. Between three of us, not one person, because we had to research, we had to write, we had to rephrase, and it goes from one review, second review, and there was the publisher had somebody who is an English person to fix our language and grammar as well. But today, that kind of English person is gone out of the equation. The publisher is using the AI model to fix the language and autocorrections and spellings and make it more professional reading. So the time for 1 year of writing book has gone almost to 6 months.
It's I forgot what that law is, but where it ramps up and it goes really quick. Like we look at the car, from the horse and cart, and look at this, and we're in this phase where it's skyrocketing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what else is new? Like, tell us more about the cyber of the future.
Talk of the town is, of course, AI. That's definitely. And the sophistication of attacks, what we have seen is also new. The type of attacks, what we have used to see from the email phishing, now it's gone to the dishing and the voice-based phishing and what. That's also new. The target of the attack has also changed. That's also another deeper topic to discuss. But at a high level, we used to see attack more happening on your endpoint, such as your devices or your phone, by sending a malware. Still malware is there, but we have become more smarter and better, and the technology is improved in terms of your antivirus, anti-malware, they're everywhere. Then people have started from the company point of view, we moved to the cloud. So the attackers now target the cloud environment and trying to hack it. But we have got better. We got a better system. We got an online events, SIM solutions. We got a better configuration management, which alerts you all the kind of weakness and whatnot. Red teaming, blue teaming has come up. So now attackers have found a new target for themselves is identities. That was one of the reasons why I've been focusing more on identity security and awareness around everywhere, talking about this topic, not only from the human identity point of view, but also from a non-human identity point of view, which is your machine identity, which is your service account, which are not being used by human, and you typically ignore it because you don't know how many you have. It's usually the ratio of 1 to 500. Every one identity have 1 to 50, I would say, not 500, 1 to 50. If you have one human in your company, there are 50 non-human identities in your environment, which you don't even know. So now the attackers are getting smarter. Rather than targeting Alex email ID or Alex ID, they are looking at what other service accounts or what other non-human identity you have. Could be your application identity, or could be your token, or could be your cookies and whatnot. They target that and they use that to exfiltrate the data from the company or from the people.
Wow.
So that's a new thing which is keeping me awake, and I'm talking a lot about that in all my conferences. If you look up,
yes. And do you talk us through what we can be doing to prevent that as well?
Of course. I always start with the basic. what we are dealing with, what are the various threats, and some examples of real life, how many such companies have been targeted. If you look at today's morning news, one of the big EDR company with the red color, they have been compromised by an attacker on a very sophisticated attempt using something called webhook, which is a API based and a supply chain attack. And funny enough, they have released a paper a couple of months back about how they secure these kind of attack, and now they themselves are being attacked.
Wow.
So that's where the world is moving. So of course, I cover both area. What are the various threats, who are being targeted, every kind of company, but what can we do about it? Because if we are not aware how many such non-human identity you have in your environment, how are you going to protect it? It's all about what you see. If you can't manage, if you can't see what you have, you can't manage it, as we say.
And how do you educate the masses? Because obviously you're very specialist, like you and I read tech news probably daily, we're networking, we're chatting with people, but how can we educate the masses of like, hey, this could be a threat?
Absolutely. So there are many ways from the professional point of view, because I'm an advisor, I talk to many customers on a daily basis. And I run a lot of events as well, paid events, free events, public events, where I go and talk about these kind of threats and create an awareness. Non-human identity is something new, and which is my passion topic. People are already being aware of this in Europe and America a couple of years before. But in Australia, now people are talking about it. So we are a little bit behind, but we are catching it up. And I feel it's responsibility for people like us who are into more social active and advisor and evangelist and a thought leader. It's our job to go and educate everyone, not from the product sales point of view. That's given. If they need help, definitely you can help. But I always say it's a people problem first.
Yeah.
It's a people, then a process, and then the technology. That's why we call it PPT. People, process, technology. Technology is always the last. It's going to help you and enable your business to fix certain problems what you have, but always start with the people. And that's where me and you come into the play. We both come into the play, make people aware about the things. Then we build a process. What can we do to identify these things? And then we bring the technology where we can help buying some piece of software or a technology to implement, and which could make their life easy and faster and better.
Yes. And did you say your passion was non-identity?
Non-human identity is something which I'm talking these days a lot.
Yeah. And because it's fascinating, isn't it? With the advent, it's not even the invention of AI. AI has been around decades, but like people are leveraging it more in smarter ways. And there's communities that I think the hacker community is more community based than the cybersecurity community. They share information. They talk. Stefan, that's from Coles, he was telling me that he's seen how they all communicate, and they're very free flowing with information.
It's a marketplace, and we call it CAS, Cybercrime-as-a-Service. Cybercrime-as-a-Service is something real. They have their own marketplace, and to share a story on that, and since you open the Pandora box of another topic, so Cybercrime-as-a-Service, just for our audience to understand that if anyone can be a hacker, is that easy. I'm not advocating that you should be, because there are lots of legal implications on that, and not, of course, you should never think of that. But being a professional, I'm sharing a story is, there are a group of people who will be first successful in getting a hold of your account. For example, one community or one person or a group of people, they would target your email and they have access to your email and password. Simple as, have I been pawned? You go and it will show you how many companies have hacked, and their username and password are already available. And if you don't have an MFA, then period. So they would collect that email and send it to someone else who are more expert in exfiltrating or luring you by social engineering. Could be by phishing, wishing, dishing, whatever. Once they got hold of your account or your data, then there will be third party who will come and say, okay, I will help you to sell the data. When they have a copy of the data, there will be another party who will come into the play. Okay, I will help you monetize this in a better way. And we call it single extortion, double extortion, and a triple extortion. Have you heard this term?
No.
Single extortion is somebody would reach out to you, said, Alex, I found your data on so-and-so breach. Not you, but you'll tell your company, because it's from the company, give me the money or I'm going to leak the data further. If they pay, that's a single extortion. Double extortion is, they would tell the company and they will reach out to you as well. Said, okay, I'm trying to make a money from the company. They will not tell you, but they will reach out to you. Alex, I found your data pay me and I will not sell your data because you have very sensitive information. I have your family photos and everything whatnot. Triple extortion is they would get the money from the company, they would get the money from you as well. Even though you pay them and agree that they will not sell it, they will still go and sell it to somebody, some other competitor who can take advantage. So it's called triple extortion. So that's how they make money 3 times, not once.
Wow.
And you never know what they're going to do with that. And I have a few more stories to share.
So the moral of the story is that you can't negotiate with terrorists.
You should never, ever pay ransom. That's by default.
Yeah, because they're not gonna have empathy or sympathy and go, oh, he's paid us, let's stop now. They're just gonna try and make more money and milk you for it.
You want to hear another interesting story?
Yes, please.
So what these ransomware groups are trying, they try to hack the insurance company who are giving a ransomware insurance to you.
Wow.
So for example, you have a company, you need to take a cyber insurance. And in your cyber insurance, because you have a lot of data, you make a clause that if I have been ransomized, if my data is encrypted, I want money as a part of my insurance to pay the ransom so I can get my money.
Yeah.
So what they do is, once they have that kind of a data from the insurance company and they found the list of company who have a ransomware insurance, then they attack you and they tell you, you already have insurance money. Now we hacked you. Why don't you pay us some money? You're going to anyway recover your money from your insurance.
Yeah.
How smart they are.
That's very
now
smart.
You don't have a choice, but I have insurance. Definitely I can recover and let's see what money I can get it. But there is no guarantee the whatever encryption they have done it, and they would give you an encrypted key, whether it will work completely or not.
Jeez.
So even though you have a ransomware insurance, it's good you have taken it, but don't pay ransom to the ransomware organizations just to recover your data. It's no guarantee.
It's it blows your mind, some of these stories, doesn't it? Because it's like, from a logical point of view, you're like, that makes sense for them to make a lot of money, but how is that positively impacting the world? That's not ethical. It's not adding value. There's enough badness going on that we don't need these, but that's why I'm very thankful for people like you who are fighting the fight and sharing this information.
You saw what happened in the Optus breach, and it's a public news, so I can tell the name. Once the news was out and government got involved, the hackers got frightened. They said, sorry, we did not mean to hack. We already reached out to Optus for informing them, but nobody responded, and that's why we did it. Sorry, we are deleting the data and running away. They got scared. Because Optus was brave enough, and I would give a lot of kudos to them, to come to the public media and inform everyone what had happened, how it happened, and who are the people. And government involved at a very right time, which made them scared that, okay, they should not be messing around with the companies like Optus and countries like Australia. Yeah. Otherwise, they will be in trouble. So they ran away and they deleted the data. But of course, the damage was done, including my own driving license was breached, and I got a message from Optus that, okay, go ahead and we can help you renew your driving license number and all. But yeah.
Wow. And was it like 15 or 16-year-olds overseas? It was
like that.
Because I saw the Marks and Spencer's as well in the UK, and they were down for months, lost millions of dollars, and they were like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and it really needs to, there needs to be made examples that you can't do this. Here's the ramifications, big fines or whatever. And what are other countries doing well as well, Baz? As somebody who flies all around, like you're in Singapore next week or the week out, and like you're doing all this, what are other countries doing?
No, of course, more and more countries are getting more collaborative. They talk to each other. There are forums where they share the knowledge. There are public and there are private forums as well. Something like ISAC. ISAC is of different industry as well. They have FSISAC, which is a financial service. They have OT ISAC, which is the OT environment or critical infrastructure. So all of these threat intel are shared among the group on a membership basis. Then there are at a country level, at the government level, they also share the news. Then there are public and a private partnership as well. I used to work for Microsoft, and since I used to work for Microsoft, I know what kind of bilateral sharing agreement we had for the threat intel. Big organizations such as telecom companies in the country, or the CERT, or large organizations who are providing critical infrastructure. We had a two-way agreement with them on sharing the threat intel data. Country specific, industry specific as well. So a lot of these kind of awareness are increasing day by day, and people are sharing it. Of course, but we need to do, there is not enough. We always need to be more aware. But what about the small companies? Australia Signal Directory, I'm a big fan of that. They have a lot of sharing of data as well. They immediately come up and share that this is what it happened, and these are the various indicator of compromise. Take the information and go dig around in your organization and see whether you have the fingerprints of similar attack which has happened in XYZ company. So that's also happening. And people like us, I immediately share LinkedIn is the best resource, Twitter is a good resource for the good reason, not for the bad, of course, for the bad reason as well, but for the good reason. You can follow certain people who are very active in that space as well. I remember the name of person I was talking about, Troy Hunt. Have I Been Pawn? Now it strike me. So Troy Hunt is a guy who owns Have I Been Pawn based in Australia. He's a very good researcher. So follow these kind of people who are very active, and they publish this information and do the detailed analysis as well for you. So you can learn from them and then broadcast further and help your organizations and the community to be more aware about that.
And I think it also, like, I love how you're talking about countries, but also businesses here. The leadership team needs to take ownership of this. Like, I'm doing certificates and wardens and all of this. And this has been a fantastic conversation about it. And any imparting wisdoms, anything you'd love to leave us with?
I would say be vigilant, always challenge of something which you're not aware of. A simple example I give you, getting a call from a bank, hang up the call and call back. That as simple as that. Don't trust anything which you see visually as well these days. It looks so real. Photos, image, videos, voice, they are so perfectly like a real person. So always challenge that, call back, verify it, ask other people, is this real or not? Because not everyone is tech savvy. Not everyone is super aware about that. Hackers are getting smarter day by day. They are targeting the human as a first target. They are trying your innocence. So you need to be, we as a community and we as a people has to be more vigilant about that area as well. And follow the news regularly and see what can be done. And in case of help needed, reach out. Help is available for free. I mean, people like me and you, I don't charge anything. If somebody reach out to me for certain verification, I'm always happy to share my knowledge and my experience to help them.
That's awesome. Well, this has been a fantastic conversation. So thank you very much, Abbas.
Thank you.
If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. It helps the growth of the channel so we can keep interviewing some of the best minds that there are here. Thank you very much.